Hello students, I hope you have seen video lectures. This is the last topic of your unit number 1 is the importance of interpersonal and intercultural communication in today's organization. So it's the last topic as your unit number 1 and this question is also asked by in GTU examination. So according to the point of view of your examination, it's also very important question. So let's start it. First of all, what are the importance of interpersonal and intercultural communication in today's organization? Like you have learned in last video lectures that what is the meaning of interpersonal communication, that interpersonal communication means communication between two or more peoples. It's called the interpersonal communication. And intercultural communication means when you working in the organization at that time different peoples are working there and different people have the different culture, then according to culture the communication way, communication style, then perception of person is different. So there are the importance, what is the importance of interpersonal communication in the today's organization. So here there are some key components of interpersonal communication given to you, that first one is a self concept. Okay, so as a sender, when you communicate with your receivers or listener, at that time self concept is impact on your overall communication way. If receiver has the closed mindset, so if you given the right information, correct information, but receiver cannot understand your view or your point of view regarding whatever you try to tell or try to convey to them. So self concept is receiver, regarding the receivers, is largely influence on the communication with the each other. Not only that, but communications perception means whatever a communicator try to convey, then the mindset of communicator, or we can say the perception of him, is also affected overall communication. So there can be a misunderstanding or misinterpretations of this type of the personality, or its a self concept is considered and affect on the perception of the person. When receiver have the different perception and the sender has a different perception, so at that time they cannot communicate the right information or share the right thing to each other. It's a main problem is created in today's organizations. Take example, there are the one theory is given by the Douglas is the theory X and theory Y. According to theory X, there are the organizations employers have a mindset that employee cannot work according to the payment given to them, and worker have a perception that uh, employer cannot give us the right amount of payment. So whenever this type of perceptions are considering in the mind of the receiver and the sender, so they cannot convey the right information because they are self concept, means they have the personal perception that whatever I tell to them they cannot accept my view. So it's type of one type of self concept, and which are affected today's organization culture. Then after, clarity of expression. The second topic is clarity of expression. While you communicate, it's the most important to select the correct word. Give the complete information. Sometimes some person have a communication way like very fast, means they cannot communicate the right information at the correct time. So in the organization, when you working in the organization, at that time your communication channel is selected properly, and your communication, whatever the information you communicate, is sent directly to the receiver. So be conscious and effective sentences are used when you communicate with your receivers. Moreover, the non-verbal causes like your facial expressions, gestures, alignments, and the verbal sentence, so its effect on your overall communication in the organization. When as an employer you convey the message with your employees, at that time your way of talking, your gestures, your facial expressions are affected. So at these are main things that you have to clear in the organizations. So there are the most important interpersonal communication factors in day to day organizations. Then interpersonal relationship with the organization. In the earlier video lectures we have already discussed that in the organization there are the number of peoples are working. So at that time your relationship with your colleagues, with your employer, it's affected. So the kind of relations that one share with the others and also decided the quality of communication that takes place between them. If your relation with your colleagues is good, then the share of information way is different, and when your relation with your colleagues is not good, at that time your communication way is different. So in day to day's life and in the organization's life, the interpersonal relation is very affected. If your organization's employees are working with the collaboration, with the cooperations, so your overall communication channel is working properly, and whatever information is conveyed by the sender or higher authorities is directly and in the right manner they reach with the receivers. So the health of organization is also depend on the communication network which are affected on the overall interpersonal communication. When interpersonal communication channel in the organization is very good or very effective, so overall communication network of the organization is built very strongly, and it's create the healthy relations between the employers and employees, and it's directly impact on the employees production activities, and it's create the benefit for overall organization. So there are the importance of interpersonal communications. Take the example for this that uh, as a worker, when take the example that A is a person who is the worker in the organization and B is a supervisor. So when A is working at that time, working in the organization, at that time some problems is find out by him or her. Then if he cannot communicate this problem to the supervisor, then A cannot get the right solution. So the interpersonal communication is affected here. If the A and B have the good relations and the interpersonal communication is very good, then A can easily convey or easily communicate their problems with the B, who is the supervisor of the company. Then we can easily find the solution regarding the problem, and the overall production process can started and continuously working. So it directly impact on the production level of the organization. So interpersonal communication is very important in day to day organizations. Then after, listening. Listening play the very important role, because whenever you working as an employee in the organization, at that time you have to be a good listener, because whatever message is given by your employer, you have to obey it, or you have to work according to the message or according to the order given to you. So listening is a very good skill when you go for the organization's employer or working as a organization employee. One example is given that when interpersonal relation between the employee and employers are not good, at that time employee think that I cannot report my duties or my work to the employer, because whenever I go for the reporting, they always find out the mistakes in my work and not give me any solution. And the mindset of employer is here is that the employees cannot report me, it's create a wastage of time. So here is a one type of interpersonal relations or interpersonal communication channel. If interpersonal communication channel is not healthy, at that time this type of problems are created in the organizations, and it's create the impact on the overall production level. Then after, in the listening, there are the one topic is considered is the clarity of expression. Clarity of expression means what? When as a manager given any order to the employee, at that time employee hear the message, and then after, when the time of reporting comes, then the employees say that I cannot hear your message. So clarity of expression means whatever message or whatever order is given by the higher authority, you have to understand it, you have to listen it, and then after you have to give the feedbacks. Okay, then after, last topic is the lack of good interpersonal relationship leads to delay in work. That's the best example that in your textbook is all in your textbook, there are the one example is given to you that admin is give the information, or we can say order, to the employee that please send the email IDs of your employees and instruct them to collect their new iCards from me. Then employee says that why you don't have their email IDs, because admin give the order to employees and employee asks the question. Then in second dialogue they say that I have, but I would be better if you instruct them. Then admin say, or we can say higher authorities say that I have, but if you give me it's better for me. Then employee said that then who want the email IDs? I didn't get what you are trying to say. Means here employee is trying to we can say trying to delay in the work, means he cannot get the information, and he is convey the message that he cannot understand whatever the message is conveyed by him. Then after, I am just asking you to send the mail that I sent you today to all your employees. Then employee says, oh, you mean I have forward the mails. So it's create a delay in the work. because this type of messages are conveyed from one person to another person, then another person can understand according to the perception and mindset of him, and then after they convey the message, so it's created the delay in the time of work. So there are the main importance of interpersonal and intercultural communication in today's organization. Then the last topic is the nuisance of intercultural communication. We know that nowadays various firms are working at the international level. So at that time they have various headquarters in the different countries. Like take the examples, Indian firms and other Asian countries are working at the USA, UK, and other countries. Culture is different. At that time, they cannot convey the right message to this country's headquarters. So it's created the big nuisance in the communications. Then after, sometime India believes in the obligatory relations. Why? Other countries there are the reciprocals. It's not expected to you and not obligates to do this return. Means in the Indian firms they believe in the obligatory relations, but other countries cannot believe this type of relations. So it's create a one types of, we can say, the nuisance in the channel of communications. In India, we don't often thank our close friends or family members because we feel that they are supposed to do things for us. But in the USA, there are used that things and try to thank you all the time whenever they have to convey the message with their friends and families. So there are the little things that are the ungrateful and its effect on the communication channel. Okay. Then after, in India, a boss speak to subordinate in the manner like the authentic tone. Means boss gave the order in India in the authentic manner, while other persons they cannot have any idea, they cannot considering the personal self respect, they can give the orders in the authentic way. But in the other countries subordinate can get this type of subordinate can get the information very smooth way, and this type of communication way they believe that the rude behavior. So according to the countries they have a different language, different type of cultures. So there are the main nuisance are created in this communication channel. From the overall unit we understand, or you can understand, that the most important in the communication channel that you have to understand the culture and the interpersonal communication whenever you communicate with the higher authority or in the organizations. Like take the example, there are the various Bihari persons are came in the Gujarat. So they can use the Gujarati language very fluently. So they can uh, they can learn the Gujarati language for their work. So whenever you use your communication network, at that time you have to analysis that the what are the main basic things you convey to other persons. So here is your unit number 1, and if you have any doubt then contact me. And here your unit number 1 is completed. Thank you so much, and you can contact me anytime if you have any doubts. Thank you so much.